Time of the End Timeline, Part 6. In Part 5, we examined the last 3.5 years of the time of the end, which Christ called the Great Tribulation. At the end of Part 5, our timeline looked like this. Notice that the fourth seal says Africa and happened sometime before the last 7 years. In this part of our study, I will show you from Scripture a new revelation which I was given regarding the fourth seal. The fourth seal opens at the beginning of the last 7 years of the time of the end. Now our timeline looks like this. Notice that the fourth seal is now at the beginning of the last 7 years when the covenant is confirmed. When the fourth seal opens, the pale horse and rider will come. A nation and its leader from the south of Israel will cause death by war, famine, plague, and wild beast. Our map of the four-colored horse of Revelation looks like this. The white horse goes to the west, the red horse goes to the east, the black horse to the north, and the pale horse to the south, Egypt. As we can see, directly south of Israel is Egypt. Egypt's leader will start the fourth seal killing. Let me show you where Yahweh says this, but first let's review the fourth seal. When Christ opened the fourth seal, there was a pale horse. Its rider was named Death, and Hades was following close behind him. They were given power over a fourth of the earth to kill by sword, famine, plague, and wild beasts. This is from Revelation 6. Notice the four-colored horse assignments and that the pale horse goes to the south of Israel, which would be Egypt. The pale horse symbolizes Egypt. Following the third seal and the destruction of end-time Babylon, the fourth seal will be opened and Egypt will start a war. Yahweh describes this in Daniel 11. At the third seal, Antichrist attacks the end-time Babylon with the help of a foreign power. Here's what Daniel says. He will attack the mightiest fortresses with the help of a foreign god. Then, at the fourth seal, the king of the south, Egypt, will engage the Antichrist in battle, and the king of the north will storm out against him with chariots and a cavalry and a great fleet of ships. He will invade many countries and sweep through them like a flood. This will happen at the fourth seal of Revelation. There will be war between Egypt and the Antichrist. He, Antichrist, will also invade the beautiful land. He will extend his power over many countries, and Egypt will not escape. Notice he defeats Egypt and two others, as we will see in Daniel 7. The fourth beast is a fourth kingdom that will devour the whole earth. The 10 horns are 10 kings who will come from this kingdom. After them, Antichrist will arise and subdue 3 kings. Egypt will be one of the 3 kings subdued. This will happen when the fourth seal opens. He, Antichrist, will also invade the beautiful land. He will extend his power over many countries. Egypt will not escape. Antichrist also invades Israel and likely will confirm a covenant for 1/7. Notice, Antichrist will confirm a covenant with many for 1/7. In the middle of the 7, he will put an end to sacrifice and offering, and on the wing of the temple set up an abomination that causes desolation until the end is poured out on him. This is from Daniel 9:27, Daniel's prophecies. Again, this is how our chart now looks. Fourth seal, Egypt, the beginning of the last 7 years. The fifth seal marks the beginning of the Great Tribulation. The sixth seal indicates that Christ's return is imminent. The seventh seal marks the second coming and the opening of the scroll, the Book of Life. In part 7, we will examine what happens at the end of the Great Tribulation when Christ returns and gathers his faithful followers, those who obey Yahweh's commandments and hold to the testimony of Yeshua the Messiah, called Jesus the Christ.